hello. It's Friday. We are in the building. Welcome to the Homebuyers Clubhouse. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Chrissy Lynn. I'm a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty. Miss Erica Batts, introduce yourself, honey.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I'm a mortgage loan officer with New American Funding.
Audience, drop us some hearts, hit that share button, do what you do. Hey, Takia, how you doing, honey? Introduce yourself.
Hey, I am Takia Ward, a realtor in the Maryland, D.C. area.
Awesome. And Miss Nicole.
I am Nicole Crawford. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty out of the Greensboro Triad area.
Awesome. You guys, today we are doing, well, y'all guys know it's National Home Ownership Month. This weekend is Juneteenth, so we are doing the Home Ownership Juneteenth edition. It's also Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the great fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Anyway, ladies, what y'all doing this weekend for Father's Day? Y'all doing anything for the holiday? And are y'all doing anything for Father's Day? What y'all doing?
They say I got a little something going on, so I'm taking family pictures. My parents' 50th wedding anniversary was this year, so we're all getting together to take family pictures, and then doing a little something for Father's Day, and might hit a Juneteenth festival on Sunday.
Awesome. Audience, what are your plans for this weekend? Takia, you doing anything, honey?
No, I don't have anything planned. So basically, I'll probably just hang out with my dad, probably do brunch or something, but I don't have anything planned as of yet.
I'm with you, honey. I'm with you. Nicole, what you doing?
Well, we're planning to do a little something for the fathers on Sunday. Between my husband and my dad. We're gonna do a little cookout, make sure the pool is up and running. We have a couple of activities we're gonna do on Saturday evening, so it'll be a nice weekend.
That's so awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I think Samantha just came in the studio. We'll let her get situated. Yes, everything. I'm going back to Lewisburg, going to go see my family, going to go see my dad. Might do something for my husband, but I can't really plan anything to, later in the evening anyway. But anyway, yeah, Samantha, welcome to the building, honey. How you doing?
Hi, ladies.
Turn that camera up a little bit. We can't see you.
Using my phone.
But yeah, so today, you guys, we are doing Juneteenth, the home ownership edition. So I got a story for you guys, right? So for those of you guys who don't know, in June 2021, Juneteenth became recognized as a federal holiday in the United States. For some Americans, it's a new holiday to learn more about. But for many Black families and communities across the nation, it's a well-known time to celebrate liberation, culture, and joy. So in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared a formal end of slavery in the United States. However, some people in Texas, they didn't find out until like 2.5 years later. They found out on June 18th, 1865. They found out that they were free. Yay. All right. So this gave them the opportunity to live the American dream of home ownership and land ownership. This is known as like the ultimate expression of American freedom. So to top it off, around this time, the government, they were like begging citizens to take care of land in exchange for ownership rights. So things were looking up, right? Everything sounds like it's good, right? Everything sounds good. I can't see y'all. So y'all got
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
People.
Right. But the issue was, it wasn't that case for us. They were begging people to take care of their land, and they were giving property away, but they didn't want to give it to the slaves that took care of their land for years or whatever. They didn't, but we had two leaders. They dropped an impactful word to the General Sherman in Special Fields Order number 15 or whatever. So in June 1865, he promised that about 40,000 formerly enslaved men would settle on a 40-acre plot in the Southeast. So it was like Georgia, Florida, all along the Southeast, right? So the land had been abandoned and scorched during the war. And it had been given to they gave them the option to get the old Civil War mules also. So they get land, 40-acre plots of land, and they're giving them like some old mules from the Civil War, right? So on Juneteenth was a moment in history when the slaves in Georgia, South Carolina, like I said, Florida, all of them, they got their own piece of land, right? They got their own 40 acres and a mule. That's where that came from, right? That's another yay moment. So guess what happened? They got their mule. They got their own land. They gave them their own island. They got their stuff, they worked for it. But not even a few weeks later, like within the fall, they were evicted. They were evicted like a few weeks later from their original land or whatever, right? So this is where we talk about, you guys. We learned about this in pre-licensing class. We talked about the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Because they gave them the land, they took the land away, and they gave it back to the original owners back then. So they came up with the law, the Civil Rights of 1866. Do y'all remember that in real estate school?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see y'all.
I remember hearing about it.
It's news to me.
It's new. So yeah, that's where that came from, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, right? So this prohibited racial discrimination in real estate. But we got a lot of these laws that came up. We got a lot of fair housing laws right now and today, and we're still having issues. And we know that laws, they don't magically stop violations. As we can see with the Civil Rights Act of 1866, unfair housing and other real estate practices did not just magically just fix everything, right? So that's our topic for today, you guys. We're talking about fair housing. We're talking about Juneteenth. And we're talking about some of the issues that's going on today. So, ladies, what are your thoughts about some of this?
We've come a far way, but we still got work to do. And I hope that, we don't feel discouraged, even when we're maybe discriminated against or feel as though we're discriminated against. We can keep pushing. And more of us are in spaces that we can create a peaceful environment where we can buy homes and do new things is what I'm excited about, which is a part of the reason why I became a loan officer.
Amen. Anybody else got any feedback? Y'all ain't got no thoughts about all this stuff that went on with the 40 acres and the mule and all this other stuff. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. I just talked for 10 minutes.
I can do 40 acres. I can do a mule. I don't know how to handle mules, but I guess I can learn. But I would like to have some piece of land and something to call my own and pass down to generations, because that's a part of where generational wealth come from. McDonald's don't make money off of just burgers. Believe that. So that's my tidbit.
True that. So look, I just watched a video today because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about some of the issues that we're currently having today with fair housing and all of that or whatever. So I watched a video the other day and it brought tears to my eyes, right? It was a rapper. I don't know his name. Anyway, they shared the video. He was driving through a neighborhood or whatever. And a lot of people attacked him. Told them to leave his neighborhood. They just they got a cone, they beat up his car, and he stayed calm throughout the whole thing or whatever. He did the right thing, but it still goes on today. So only imagine if they did that to him. And from what I understand, it's the same area where Trayvon Martin was murdered, where he lived, and or whatever the situation. He had the same situation in the same area. So my thing is, imagine trying to live in that neighborhood and he's just driving through the neighborhood and they are attacking his car. The people ended up getting arrested. So that's a plus. That's a big change from what's going on today. But just imagine trying to live in that neighborhood and you're dealing with these type of things.
Yeah, I think it's definitely tough when you have these situations arise, whether it is, moving into a neighborhood where you then feel unwanted if you do own property in that neighborhood, or fear from others that you living there may devalue their property in some way. So it's definitely a tough place to be in, but I think that home ownership is it is a wealth building strategy, and more of us I think right now, the last statistic I read is that we are the lowest. African Americans are the lowest as far as percentages of home ownership, and we definitely need to do what we can to try to change that.
Yeah, they said that there's a racial bias. What data from the Brookings Institution in 2018 suggested that as a bias is accounted for a loss of $48,000 per home in the majority of Black neighborhoods, and adding up roughly to about 156 billion. And cumulative loss value nationally. So yeah, it goes on, and not
that's
just
in appraisals or things like that. You know, we've all heard the stories of the homeowners who, you know, they got a low appraisal once they removed all the traces of them being African American and had a white person stand in, then magically the house is now worth more.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. That was the next thing I was about to bring up. Definitely. Let's say the racial home ownership gap has widened like more than it's just bad. And let's kind of go back to us in real estate as real estate agents, and we talk about this a lot, like how in the contracts, and we kind of prepare our clients whenever we go out to look at properties, and same thing with sellers, the buyers and the sellers or whatever. We go out, we say, hey, look, I can't take you to this neighborhood, and a lot of people, they say, look, I don't want to move to the hood. I want to go to areas in good schools, and we can't do that for that reason, because of the fair housing laws, because back then, you know, people use that as a reason not to move in predominantly Black neighborhoods. So, yeah.
So, Jesse, I think that's an interesting point. What is the verbiage that they should use, or what are things? Because a lot of times you hear about, okay, well, we can't take you to this neighborhood. And I think it's more the verbiage that they're using when they're asking to see that neighborhood.
Right. So don't say I can't. And this is what I kind of talk to my clients about whenever we go. And I don't know how Takia and Nicole tell them, but I just pretty much tell them, because it's in bold letters in the contract. It says, no discrimination. The agent of the firm shall conduct all brokerage activities in regards to this agreement without respect of race, color, religion, sex, nationalities, all of that stuff in there. And I just say, hey, look, I tell them up front, you don't tell me you can't go to the hood. If you want to say, look, I want a school, I want to go to a school in this school district, I can do that. If you want to go to a certain zip code or something like that, cool, I understand, because you don't want your child to leave the school district. But I can't take you to a place where you say, I don't want to live around Black, purple, green, orange, or blue people or whatever. And the same thing with the sellers. I cannot, the agents cannot say, look, we can't show your house to a Black person, blue, green, orange, or purple person, for that reason. Same thing. We talk about this a lot when it comes with the buyer and the seller, the letters to the sellers. People, you're telling people personal stuff about you, and this way they could easily target you. They don't know who you are by looking at your name for the most part, or whatever. They don't know. And as agents, a lot of the times we don't show, you know, the names to the sellers or whatever. So they don't know who you are by looking at your name. They're looking at the numbers. But when you write these love letters, you're opening up another can of worms, another can of bias.
Right.
And my agents, y'all can come in anytime.
So when they ask me, I say the same thing. Like, hey, fair housing, I have to show you everything. I can't just not show you different houses because of, you know, you're saying you don't want to be in the hood or whatever. To me, it's everything is all fair game. I can't do that. You know, you can tell me the same thing, like you said, Jesse, a zip code or something like that. That's fine. I can, you know, search by zip code, but I can't exclude certain areas for you. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, I had someone ask me the other day. They was like, so how's the neighbor? Like, I can't tell you that. Well, off the record, I can't tell you anything off the record either. Like, yes.
I give them a website to go to, and we'll say drive the neighborhood. You can check it out at night and decide if this is where you want to be. But I can't give you any more information than that.
Yep. Same thing when they're asking about the children.
I think a lot of people.
Go on, Nicole.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think a lot of people understand what we mean when they know what discrimination means, but a lot of times they get they don't understand what we can do when it comes down to discrimination, because they think of discrimination of, if I personally say I don't like you for that reason because you're Black or because you're white, but they don't understand that we cannot steer. And steer can be suggestive of me saying, no, I don't want to take you over to that neighborhood because all the Black people stay over there. So that's something we cannot do. And when you're dealing with people of all different races, we that we that, well, you don't want to go over there because that's where they stay at. Certain that a lot of people use, because people are discrimination is real. We are in 2022, but discrimination is real. So as realtors, we are bound by code of ethics to make sure that we are treating everybody fairly, no matter what it is. I tell clients all the time, well, if you don't want to stay in certain places, that is your right, but I cannot not give you the option to stay there.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And I will say this is kind of similar from the lending perspective, as far as, when we take applications from people, a lot of times you're dealing with them through phone or, things like that. But we also can't discriminate based on their race, religion, any of those type of things. That's a good thing for me about lending. The numbers are what they are.
Definitely.
Is that right, Erica? HMDA.
So
Yes.
what's the matter?
HMDA, the HMDA says we shall not be discriminating against you.
Right.
Definitely.
Act.
All right. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to that? Nothing else.
No, I just thought about the movie Them, or that small series that came out last year about them, and it just touched it when you said going to different neighborhoods or being the first in the neighborhood, and how scary that may be, and breaking down those barriers.
Seriously, it brought tears to my eyes, because I was just like, imagine that being my child. I have kids, they're gonna grow up sooner or later. Just imagine my child. I can't imagine my children going through that. Like somebody just attacking my child because they driving through a neighborhood. Like they could be going through the neighborhood dreaming, like one day I'm gonna live in this neighborhood. You should have saw him there on camera just beating his car with the cone and everything. Like, get out of my neighborhood. You don't belong here. They claim he was driving too fast through the neighborhood or whatever. But still, like I said, they got arrested. But the issue was, like, would you do that to one of your neighbors driving through the neighborhood a little too fast or whatever? But like, that's my thing. Like, it was, yeah, it brought tears to my eyes. It really did, because it's sad.
It seems like there's a history of when things are different, or when something different comes to, your neighborhood, or feeling like, oh no, this is my neighborhood and you can't live here because I don't like it. And it's unfortunate, but it is something that happens. And I feel like all of us being in this space does that, we're doing what we can to try to help alleviate the issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. That's why we have the Home Buyers Clubhouse, y'all. I was at the doctor's office yesterday, and that's what the lady was saying. She was like, I'm the first one in my family to finish college. She said, I'm working on trying to get my house or whatever. She's a nurse. Like, I'm working on getting my house or whatever. I'm going to be the first one in my family to get a house. She said, I'm breaking these generational curses or whatever. And she said, I don't even know the first step to to buying a house or whatever. I said, that's exactly what we have a group. I said, that's why we have this group here that we have today, because many people don't understand the first step to buying a house. Many people don't understand that they don't have to rent forever. Many people don't understand what home ownership is. They just think they go talk to somebody and say, hey, look, I want a house. And they could be renting and don't really know the difference. They just rent for the rest of their life. And like I said, it's nothing wrong with that. But hey, you have these resources here.
Mm-hmm. And don't be a renter just because you don't have the knowledge, because a lot of times that's not something that's been talked about in households. So if what you need is information, that's what we are all here for. We're here to help provide you with the information and get you on the right path. A lot of times, your parents couldn't teach you because they didn't know.
Definitely. Yeah, I got anything else y'all want to add? All right, look, y'all, it's National Home Ownership Month. Next week is our last Friday of the month, and we're gonna wrap up our home ownership series. So next week we've gotten you pre-approved, we've helped you fix your credit, and next week we're gonna talk about what to expect when you go out and how to prepare you, how to go out and shop for a house, and we're also going to talk about real estate contracts, how to prepare you for that, and what steps you need to take and what to expect after you go on the contract. So thank you guys for tuning in today. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I am a Triangle Realtor with A to Z Realty, and you can reach me at 919-818-9854. To you fathers out there, I wish you guys a happy Father's Day. Audience, tell your father, tell your husband, tell your grandfather, happy Father's Day in the chat right now. Erica.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I'm your mortgage loan officer with New American Funding. You can reach me at 919-608-7916, or you can visit my website at ericabatts.com.
Nicole.
I am Nicole Crawford. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. I can be reached on my cell always, which is 336-457-3007.
Samantha.
I'm Samantha Harding. You can reach me at 919-374-0260.
And Kiki.
And I am Takia Ward, a realtor with Keller Williams, and I service the Maryland, D.C. area. And you can reach me at 240-513-7996.
Audience, you can reach all of us in the clubhouse at www.thehomebuyersclubhouse.com. You can find us on Facebook in our private group, and you can also find us on our page at Home Buyers Clubhouse, and you can also find us on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. YouTube, The Home Buyers Clubhouse. You guys have an awesome day. Enjoy your Juneteenth weekend. Also, have a happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there, have a safe Father's Day, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.